Hello! Today is Thursday, and I think by now we all know what this means. It is Snapshot Day, and we're looking at the newest Snapshot for 1.8, that's 14w06a, and you may notice that it is nighttime. And that is because I found something on this snapshot that I don't think was there before. Now, I could be wrong, so I may look a bit silly here, but if we hit F3, you'll notice at the bottom we now have local difficulty, which will tell me what my game here is set on. So I imagine on servers this is going to tell you what your settings are here, which I assume may be fixed. It may just be the way they had to set things up. But next to that you'll see day 2, and that is because I've let 2 days cycle whilst I've been building this for you, and daytime is approaching right now, so hopefully we'll see that change. I'm not going to wait around, we'll just hit F3 when we get to the end of this, and you should see day 3, which is a pretty cool addition. Now before we get into this, there are two new tags that I would like to quickly show you. I haven't set these up for you. They are new tags that will allow you to spawn item entities that you cannot pick up and item entities that will not expire. So they will be on the screen for you now. As always, if you want to try this out for yourself, have a little look in the description. It will tell you how to do this, and there will be a full changelog of everything that has been changed in this, including bug fixes. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can play around with these tags, have some fun. Let's see when this is going to change. Let's just do this at the end. Right, so the first thing we're going to have a little look at them is this, and that is a brand new tag for the give, well, not for the give command, for items, and that's can place on. You may remember recently we had can destroy. This works in a very similar way, and this means you can only place these blocks onto the block you specify. In this case we've got diamond blocks, so if we head over to adventure mode and we grab ourselves 16 blocks, you'll see it says here can be placed on block of diamond. Has it changed? Nope. And so we can only place this right here on this block of diamond. So if we quickly head back to game mode C, get rid of this, and head back, there is another new tag for these blocks, and that is the hide flags. Now I think I'm right in saying that these are the numbers that you need to choose what you're hiding. 1 is enchants, 2 is modifiers, 4 is unbreakable, 8 is can destroy, and as you see here 16 is can place on. These, it says on the changelog, this is the bit fields, and I'm not 100% sure on what this means or quite what's going on there, but I have a feeling this is how it works. So if I give myself these ones, you'll see that these do not have the tags displayed, and I'm in venture mode, so I can place these on top of on the diamond block, but nowhere else. So that's a very cool feature. It means you won't have a load of tooltips flowing around on your screen when you're playing an adventure map, which is really cool for people to have. And there you go, you can see we've hit day 3 now, which is a very cool feature. So the next change is to the barrier blocks. And now if I head back to game mode C, these are very, very, very buggy, and as you can see right here, the actual change is that you can now see barrier blocks in creative. However, obviously you can't, and that is because they seem to be very, very buggy at the moment. So if I grab one of these, you'll see it now changes, and this is how it will look in creative mode. If I place these around, and you can see it takes a while for these to actually disappear. The reason they look like this is the glass texture. If I can put some stone behind it, you'll see that they are, well, nope, they disappeared, but there you go. They are not actually transparent. That's just the way the textures work with glass. So that's a really cool feature. I'm glad they did this. This was something that I wanted them to do. However, yeah, it's a little bit buggy with going back and forwards in these game modes. But nonetheless, really cool feature, so I'm glad that's happened. So the next thing we've got here then is, if we go into survival, we've got a new achievement. And now this requires you to have unlocked the time to mine and the getting an upgrade after benchmarking, of course, and that is a build a notch apple overpowered. So we're going to do that now because I haven't done this yet. So I'm going to try and grab all of these up and grab my apple and go into my crafting bench, and this will be embarrassing if this is the wrong recipe. There we go, and if I get this, yeah, overpowered, we've got ourselves a notch apple. Let's quickly have that. And you can see we get some ridiculous buffs here, which is very, very, very cool. So, next up is the change to mob AI. Now, this was the one I was saying I would try to show you. I don't know if this is a very good example. However, there's been some big changes, and it seems I can't pick these up because we're in the wrong game mode. That is that slimes can now swim. It seems these little guys have a lot of trouble doing so, but these bigger guys have no problem. I know that the water looks like it's dragging them, but I've been playing around with this for a while, and you'll see from this guy, he's happy to swim around in the water. He's not really that bothered. This guy makes it eventually. So that is something that has been changed. I imagine that a few other mobs have been changed, but for now these are the ones I'm going to show you. Feel free to play around with them. It's a pretty cool thing. And finally, I'm going to show you this, and that is a new tag. And again, I'm not 100% sure if I've done this correctly. This is all brand new to me. I've had this maybe an hour, and that is that you can now hide the particle effects. I've managed to do this by typing true and false. I'm not 100% sure if that's how the syntax works. So let's put it on false, and let's give ourselves this, and you'll see obviously we have the particles and we have the speed buff like we would imagine. Now after 10 seconds, this will go away. Let's have a quick look. There you go. If I change this back to true and hit this again, I've still got my particle effects from the notch apple, so I'm going to have to clear my effects. What's that? Is that effect clear? Effect player effect. I'll be right back. Alright, it seems I managed to do that one now. So we have no effects and no particles, and if we press it now, you'll see that we get our effects, but we do not get our particles, which is a very, very, very cool feature. Something that's probably been pretty necessary for some adventure maps. It seems like now we're being able to hide all of the stuff that's very in your face when you're building adventure maps, which I think is a very, very good idea. So the next big thing, which I'm not actually going to go over because I don't actually understand them very well, if I'm honest, so I don't want to give you any false information, and that is that scoreboards have changed significantly by the looks of things. There are a hell of a lot of new tags for them. Some examples: you now have a trigger command, so you can trigger events. I'm not 100% sure on how this all works. Like I said, I don't really know scoreboards very well. There's a couple of other additions. You can now reset people's scores, I assume, one by one, targeting the player, and you can now use another selector tag so that you can target players even if they are offline, which I believe is a new feature, which is cool. Again, not something I've played around with, so I'm sorry I'm not going over these very well. And another thing is resource packs. There is now a much easier ability to change the chat color, and sheep's apparently are much easier to change the color of now. Something I haven't played around with, but that sounds fun. So that's all I've got time for today. That's all the things I've got to show you. As I said, mostly for map makers, but really cool nonetheless. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please let me know in the comments. Leave me some feedback on how I can improve and if you enjoyed the format. And yeah, I'll see you next time.